So August 2018 was quite some time ago, and that's back when Acer actually unveiled this, the Acer Chromebook 514, and we were pretty excited about it. It's the follow-up to the pretty popular Acer Chromebook 14, and it checked a lot of boxes, has a lot of stuff going for it. We really expected to see it sometime in the fall, at least before Christmas. And while it started showing up on online retailers and stuff like that towards the end of the year, we're talking like in December, it's been really hard to get a hold of, and we've been waiting for a review unit, and we have it. It's shown up. So we want to do an unboxing with this device because we've not gone to a show or done anything where we've actually encountered this device. So we wanted to get it out of the box and kind of just give you these really quick initial impressions of the device as we get it out, and hopefully it lives up to some of the hype and some of the excitement we've had around this device. Before we get into that though, a quick shout out to NordVPN. They are the ones sponsoring this video, and whether you're using a Chromebook or any other device, they are the best choice for a VPN if you want to keep your browsing secure while you're online. If you want to learn more about them, go to chromeunbox.com/NordVPN to get started today. All right, so without any further ado, let's crack this box open. We don't do unboxings quite as often because, you know, we go to events and we see devices, we get hands-on earlier than when we would unbox and see it for the first time. So it's kind of exciting to get to do this, what seems like for the first time again. So I'm not expecting to see anything out of the ordinary here. This device, as you can tell, has already been opened. It's a review device. So this one's been touched and used before, but it's packed back up the way that we would expect it to be. So nothing out of the ordinary here. Let's look at the charging block real quick. Pretty standard, smaller block, but you know, USB-C, 2 pieces, so nothing cool going on here. This is a pretty standard charging setup. There's really nothing else in this box, so we're gonna get rid of it. All right, so we've got the normal Acer kind of cloth bag here. So right out of the box, we can tell it is aluminum. It's probably not the most expensive aluminum you've ever seen. A little flimsy feeling, but it's really great at resisting fingerprints. I can tell already just kind of touching all over it, and I had some chicken wings before we did this, so yeah, really good with that. And it is aluminum for sure. There's a nice cool touch to it. Standard Acer logos and stuff there. Across the bottom, again, aluminum. We got pretty standard screws, speaker ports, feet, you know, nothing out of the ordinary. Obviously no fans here. We're looking at the Pentium N4200 in this one. So that's the same chipset that is in the Acer 15, not the convertible one. I think there's a 4200 version of it as well. And it gets along pretty well. So a little bit better, imagine, than the Apollo Lake devices that came out in 2018. So let's pop this thing open. And we're looking at standard black keys. Again, all aluminum in here as well. Questionable, this part here around the screen might be plastic. And we're not looking at a glass display either. This is an anti-glare display, which is great for a lot of people. We got backlighting on the keys. Hopefully, I'm gonna kind of bend this back. You can probably see some of that going on there. We have a monster trackpad here. So this is what size that you normally see on the Chromebook 15. So a nice huge trackpad. One of the benefits here is it is Gorilla Glass, so you get that nice texture here. Click feels pretty good, maybe a little loose. Yeah, there's a little jiggle in there, which if you're around the channel very often, you know I'm not a huge fan of that. But you see some stickers on here as well. Narrow bezels, that is in fact the case on the left and right side. We got nice narrow bezels, backlit keyboard, Gorilla Glass touchpad, and they're saying up to 12 hours of battery life. No way for us to know that at this point. We will test it for the review. Let's get into guest mode here real quick. All right, we got it all booted up in guest mode here, and really, I don't want to comment on too much here until we have a little bit of time to spend with it, but I can tell you the keys feel good. They're good and clicky, lots of travel. And again, they're backlit, so that's really cool. And like I said, there's a little bit of travel here on this, but overall the click feels pretty good, and the surface of it feels great because it's glass, so they've kind of nailed it there. 14-inch display, full HD. The device they sent us is, again, the Pentium N4200. It is also rocking the 8 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. There's a device that is lower than this one that has the N3450 Apollo Lake and 4 gigs of RAM. So they sent us the one with a little bit better performance. It comes with a $500 price tag, $400 if you go with the lower one. The screen looks good, relatively bright. Again, we'll have to get it up against some other stuff to kind of check that out. But I mean, overall, the feel is pretty good here. The screen looks relatively sharp. 14 inches with 1080p is a nice sweet spot, I think. And this processor should do pretty well if the Acer 15 is anything to go by. And 8 gigs of RAM, you know, that's pretty decent. It's going to have to perform pretty well, though, for me to really like this device at $500. And that's the last thing I kind of want to say about this as we kind of finish up this unboxing. At $500, it's going to have to impress, because there's a lot of great Chromebooks you can get right now for roughly $500. Stuff is going on sale left and right, it seems like. Just the other day, the Lenovo 4K, you know, spec'd out device was around $600, and so you're talking $100 more for a 4K display, a Core i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage. You can talk about the Dell in that same company, the HP Chromebook X360, the X2, all that kind of stuff. Sometimes the Pixelbook even dips down into the 600. So when you get into that company, it needs to deliver. And so we're going to see as we kind of review this, and we'll do an impressions video on this as well after we've spent a day or two with it, working on it, to kind of give you those initial impressions and hold out for the review maybe a week or so down the road. But guys, that's going to be it for this one. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below so you don't miss that first impression. You don't miss the review of this and other Chromebooks that are coming down the line. And until next time, we'll see you.